Hello, everyone, and today I'm reviewing John Wick Chapter 4. I'm telling you, man, this franchise never misses, and once again, they came out with another banger. No pun intended. But seriously, this movie is great. Just like the previous three films, we got Keanu getting into some more trouble with the high table, and some new villains over here, like Bill Skarsgård, and a few other baddies. He has to kill a bunch of people again. I can't forget about the other villain, Kane. Like, it's really interesting how they make a blind character such a badass, and you see like how unique his action scenes are and how he has to get around killing a bunch of baddies. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of killing here, just like in the previous three movies. But man, it never gets old. In this movie, they use a bunch of new cinematic styles for their scenes, and it's a good way to prevent the old formula from getting old, because each of these movies, they just keep on getting better and better. And I gotta say, I can't really tell which one I like the most out of all four of them. Each of them have kinetic energy going on throughout the whole thing, and that's what I have to say for the whole franchise. Now, I won't get into spoilers for this one, because there's a lot of serious things that happen at the end of the movie that I wish I can talk more about, but I probably might go back to it later if I do a spoiler review. Now, there is one scene I like to talk about, and it's towards the end, where the camera goes overhead John as he's like killing a bunch of people with the incendiary rounds. It reminds me of Dead Ops Arcade, and that's probably one of my most favorite sequences in the film. And there's actually a few parts in the movie that are actually pretty hilarious. They got some dark humor in there, which is a nice, cool spin to the whole thing. And there are a few cool characters in here, and they have a few stories set up that make me feel like they're gonna actually expand the franchise and do a few spin-offs. And just to let you guys know, if you haven't seen it, stay in the theater after the credits roll, because there's an after credits scene for this one. And you know what? If they keep on expanding on the franchise, I'm all up for it. I don't see this material getting old anytime soon, because they keep on adding new elements and new filming styles, and it's just very fresh, and I like it. There's also another character that they had that was really interesting. His name was Nobody. No, not that one. A different Nobody. But this guy was pretty cool. He had pretty interesting motives throughout the movie, and not getting into too many spoilers, but yeah, he adds a cool extra layer of depth into the whole plot, where it doesn't just focus on John, it focuses on these other characters as well. And I really like how they use the dog as a little sidekick in this one. Same with the dogs from the previous one. I like how they continue with that. Though there are a few things I've gotta add. Things that kind of bother me within this universe, that maybe it's just part of the style, or maybe it's just part of the fact that it's fiction, and nothing has to be realistic. Like, you don't have to show John putting like 100-round mags into his guns, even though it's actually a 12-round mag, or probably a 14-round, but is shooting out 100 bullets out of it. I guess that's just the fun of it. And of course, there's several scenes where he's just falling like 5 stories and hitting his back, and obviously he must have like broken something, but no, he just gets right back up. And then someone's like, "Are you pissed?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's always like, "Yeah." I'm pretty sure realistically he'd be like, seriously. And another weird thing, there are like so many situations where assassins are just killing each other in the middle of the streets, and bodies are just dropping left and right in these movies, and there are no cops. No cops show up at any of these attacks. I'm like, is this like a fever dream? Is this whole universe like a dream or something? because that's kind of wild, you know? The cops are probably like, "Oh, this is beyond my jurisdiction. We're not going to deal with these assassins." It's crazy, right? I'm definitely not the only one who's noticed, but the last time that I saw cops in these movies was John Wick Chapter 2, and that's it. It's crazy, and there's like a scene in the club where John Wick is fighting probably the most funniest character in the whole series, and the club, people in the club do notice people fighting, right? But then seconds later, they're just like, oh, whatever. They just go back to dancing, and then they just keep dancing with a bunch of people getting killed in the background. I'm like, you know what? I guess I get it, right? It's probably loud in there, they probably don't notice the gunshots and shit going on. So, it makes sense, right? But then, like, eventually, like, towards the end, they all are like, ah, then they leave, and I'm like, wouldn't they have left, like, I don't know, when they first started noticing bodies dropping? I don't know, it's just a crazy thing about this movie, and it's like that over-the-top logic that this franchise gets to get away with. I don't know, this is something I wanted to add there. I honestly didn't keep count for how many kills John did in this movie, but man, I gotta tell you, they were very creative with the kills in this one. I gotta say that. And I really liked how they also introduced new types of weapons and new types of combat in this one. And yeah, I never would have thought that these movies would keep a consistency of quality that it's done, and that's really impressive for this franchise. Super impressed. I give this movie an A. I might go back and talk more about spoilers, because there's a few things I like to say about the end. But I don't know. I might discuss it in a little short. I might have some theories about it. Yeah, I might do a film theory video for this. But yeah, no, this movie was excellent. Definitely go ahead and watch it. I'd suggest to watching 1, 2, and 3 at first. I tried doing that at 3, but I procrastinated too much, so I didn't get too much context before I started watching the 4th one, since I haven't watched part 3 in years. But yeah, no, I really like how the story really welds it in all together, and it will make for a good binging experience once they have those 4 movie Blu-ray packs. I really hope that there are more franchises out there that can keep this consistency going like this, unlike some other franchises. But yeah, that's all I have to say today. I'll see you guys again later.